But I just record myself, so you're all on mute, and we're gonna get started. So coming into your space, I'm gonna get a drink real quick. And as you come into your space, just moving around a little bit, it can feel kind of nice to just sort of bop around. And our Qigong practice, Qi, it's our energy, the energy that moves through us. We can think of it as breath, our circulation, of blood, of lymph, our nervous system, all of the systems of the body and how they relate to each other and how we relate to the world around us as well. And so just bopping around, and there's no right or wrong way. Maybe your hands kind of dangle a little bit, or you shake out your feet. Whatever feels good. It kind of feels like Charlie Brown Christmas dance, and kind of bopping around. And as you do something this simple, you're releasing tension from your body. You're also releasing a little tension from your mind. This is the movement where oftentimes I'll see people make a little smile, even if they were feeling very serious a moment before. All of a sudden they're like, oh, it just allows you to kind of relax, relaxing, softening. And take a deep breath in and let it go. Just sigh it out. And then come to stand. And notice, let your feet sink into the earth beneath you. Your arms relax at your side. And the crown of your head extends upward. So you're rooted in the earth. You can even envision that the bottoms of your feet have tree roots coming down from them. And even if you're on a different floor, if you're not on the ground floor, I have a basement underneath me, but just you might even envision standing in an open field or standing in a forest. Feeling the roots draw down from the bottoms of your feet, encouraging a sense of being grounded and safe. And your roots interconnect with the roots of the other trees and the other plants. They interconnect with all the different organisms in the earth, and this nourishing earth supports you and encourages the sense of safety. Being in the present moment. Bring a hand to your low belly, your dantian. It's this area underneath of your belly button. And bring another hand to your heart. And feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. And something that we really focus on in our Qigong practice, Qigong meaning working, cultivating our life energy. Gong is work, translates to work or to cultivation. So you're cultivating your Qi, your life energy. You're becoming a good conduit of that energy. And one important way to do this is to feel grounded, to feel like you're in the present moment. And of course, our minds take us all over the place. Every day we have lots to think about. We enjoy being up here in the clouds, and So we're bringing ourselves into our bodies, into the bottoms of our feet, so that we can be a good conduit for energy, for information, to feel balanced, so that whatever comes our way, we can respond rather than react. And so that whatever happens within our variable experience, internal variables and variables from around us, that we can respond to them with presence. So we can feel a little bit more calm, centered, balanced. And so as you're breathing, smile into your body and offer yourself kindness and gratitude for taking this time to cultivate your chi. You're gonna bring down the heavens. Let your arms come down, palms face up, reaching up as you inhale, exhaling down, center of your body. I'm gonna do this a few times, and now you're rooted. Again, you can envision kind of standing in a field or a forest, the way your feet might feel rooted into the earth. We can use our imaginations as well, which again can stimulate our parasympathetic response, our rest and relax and digest response. As you root your feet into the earth, it's like you're reaching up and kind of gathering everything that is helpful and useful to you and drawing it into your body, into your mind. And as you move, feeling a sense of relaxation, sense of calm, a softness in your joints, lifting up and drawing down. One more time, reaching up, gathering everything that is helpful and useful to you, drawing it into this wonderful conduit that you are. And then letting your arms come down, shake out your arms, shake out your legs, and return to center. We're going to move our wrists around. Moving your wrists, you can kind of let your fingers splay. Feels nice to do that. And you might shift your weight from side to side. You could even lift a heel or a foot and kind of re-step it down. This is a standing practice, which is great for strengthening the legs. And where when we think about feeling grounded, grounding in general, we can also think about that physical balance that we find. And it's so important to work with that. And when we do, we balance not only our physical bodies, but the right and left hemispheres of our brain as well. So as you shift, just kind of noticing your balance on each leg. We'll come back to center. And let's go ahead and move, finding this a cloud walking, shifting your weight from one side to the other again. Letting your heel lift, maybe your whole foot lifts of the ground, and your hands sort of float up and then they sink back down, feeling your weight across one leg and then the other. As we cultivate our chi, we do this through stretches, through balance exercises. We do it through gentle movements. and also through a tapotement and tapping, healing sounds, visualization, breath awareness. So there are many different components, and we all have different experiences, different lengths of experience with this practice. But to be able to look at it with fresh eyes each time you practice, coming back to center, bring your hands to rest on your dantian. Your dantian is a center of gravity, center of energy, about 3 finger widths below your belly button, and it is inside of the body, about 3 finger widths inside as well. So it's the center point, center of gravity, center of energy. And as you rest here, noticing the bottoms of your feet and breathing into kind of that dantian area. So pressing through the bottoms of your feet. And as you breathe, there's no need to force your breath, but envisioning it drawing down into your low abdomen. As you inhale, it expands. And as you exhale, it relaxes. Just gently breathing, noticing your breath, seeing if your eyes can soften as you breathe, seeing if your jaw can relax, and seeing if you can allow your body weight to be evenly distributed across each leg and define stillness. Taking another few breaths here. With each exhale, your shoulders soften a little bit more. Your jaw softens a little bit more. And you notice your thoughts begin to drift. Your thoughts might go to something that has yet to happen or something that has happened before. And that's okay. Just be aware of where your thoughts go and bring them back to your breath, allowing your attention to come to the hands resting on your dantian. And as you inhale, feeling that expansion. And as you exhale, a little more relief, a little more relaxation in your jaw and your eyes and your shoulders, your spine. So feeling this sense of present moment awareness, that's what happens when we're aware of our thoughts and we bring them back to the present moment, back to your breath, back to the sensation of your feet sinking into the earth. And it's a practice, it's cultivation. It doesn't happen in one fell swoop. We're going to gather chi. Bring one arm out to the side and draw it in towards your dantian, and then the other arm comes out and draws in. And letting your jaw continue to relax. And as we move, sometimes it becomes a little easier to be in the present moment. We have to focus more on mechanics, on, okay, how am I supposed to move? What am I supposed to do? And that takes us into our bodies. Softening, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your eyes, your shoulders, and your spine. it's like you're gathering in everything that is helpful and useful to fortify your dantian, your center of gravity, center of energy. And then let your hands come back to your dantian. Take a deep breath in and let go. Let's play more with balance. Bring one hand out to the side, pressing as though you're pressing against a wall. Your other hand comes to this center line. You're going to shift your weight to that leg and then touch out with a toe. Bringing your foot back, coming back to center, to the other side, pressing your hands out and touching out with the toe. As you continue to move, you're noticing your weight as it moves across each leg. And your arms don't have to come up very high. You want to keep your spine nice and tall. The more we extend away from our center of gravity, the more effort we have to put forth to return to that center of gravity. And so we're sort of moving from this grounded place, from our center of gravity, out to the sides and being aware of how far we're extending, building a sense of proprioception of how our body moves in space. I'm gonna come back to center after you've evened out both sides. I even them out. Of course, we're not symmetrical at all. Coming back to center, bring your arms down and just reroot into your feet. You might even look down at your feet and notice if they're parallel. Let your shoulders relax. And now we'll find another balancing exercise. Let your arms come out in front and a toe comes behind. So you bring your toe behind you. Toe comes out or heel comes out in front and your hands press behind. So toe and heel. Toe, heel, toe, and heel. And then come back to center. Notice how things are different on each side. Shift your weight to the other side. Bring your arms out in front. Toe comes behind. Arms come behind. Heel comes in front. You're also getting this stretch through your hip flexors. You're working with your coordination, your balance. You can move slow. Sometimes the slower we move, the more challenging it actually becomes. It can be quite challenging to move slow. Being gentle with yourself as you cultivate your energy. Come back to center. Shake out your hands, shake out your legs. Bring your hands to your dantian and just notice again. I'm noticing your weight distributed across each foot. The crown of your head extends towards the heavens. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now we've kind of established this rootedness, this idea of finding balance and of grounding a little bit more. We're going to find some self massage and supplement, starting with our hands. Rub your hands together, getting them nice and warm. And you can even interlace your fingers and just sort of rub your hands like you're putting on some hand cream. You want to get all the nooks and crannies. And in our Qigong and theories surrounding Qigong, a very prominent one is five element theory, which traditional Chinese medicine is based on. And one theory within that scope is meridians, that we have channels of energy, kind of little rivers of energy that move through our bodies. And they extend into our fingertips, into our toes, up our arms and legs, into our bodies, around our heads. We have all these very interesting little lines, channels of energy. And so when we're rubbing our hands, we're encouraging the flow of that energy. And something else that we're doing is we're releasing tension from the tissue, from this connective tissue in the hands, the fascia that winds its way throughout our bodies. And so what happens in one part of the body as we kind of rub our hands, let's rub the wrist too, get the wrists nice and warm also. As we rub our hands and rub our wrists, we're releasing some of the constriction and contraction that can happen as the weather gets a little colder. That's always good anyway. But that's going to affect the tissue in our neck and our shoulders and our upper back, even in our head as well. So we're sort of releasing tension in other parts of the body as we massage ourselves. It's not isolated to just the hands or the wrist. Everything is connected. Now we're going to pat, and patting up and down your arm. You can pat with a cupped hand, going up to your shoulder. You can turn your arm and come down. Again, we're just encouraging that flow of energy up and down the arm, the shoulder. It can feel quite nice also. And this is a great practice to do in the mornings, which is nice to have. I love Qigong classes in the mornings. I think it's the best time to practice and really sets the tone for your day. Now you're gonna lift this arm and pat from your shoulder, or from your armpit down to your hip. So it doesn't have to be lifted terribly high, but just patting up and down, armpit down to your hip. And again, we're encouraging the flow of energy, the flow of blood, of lymph, especially in the large lymph nodes that are kind of in the armpit, around the breast, down into the abdomen and hip flexors. We have all of these large lymph nodes, so we're encouraging the flow of lymph. Now let this arm come down and shake it out. And this is something that I just love to do, one side and then go to the other side. You can notice the difference in how it feels. We're gonna do some big circles with this arm, and you can let your elbow bend a little. You can even lean to get a bigger stretch through that side of your body. You can listen to the familiar cracks and pops that happen. And it's so interesting. We're building our awareness of our embodiment. Let's go the other direction. You might bend your elbow and let the arm just relax overhead as well, kind of swimming the backstroke. And breathing. If you've forgotten to breathe, if you're holding your breath, just let your breath flow a little bit deeper. Just bringing awareness to it turns it back on. Let your arm come down, shake out your arm. And one more arm swinging exercise. Step the opposite foot forward, and we're gonna toss the ball. Like you're tossing a ball, that same arm. We're doing everything with this one arm, tossing and catching a ball. So you can let your palm face up and then palm faces down. And let that arm come down, shake it out. And now bring that arm across your body and give yourself this shoulder stretch. You can hold on to your forearm, other arm there. Let your wrist relax. You might move it around a little. You can kind of get that stretch. However it feels good, you can draw your arm into your body a little bit more if that's nice. And breathe into the stretch in the shoulder. Nice to sigh. Something I love about Zoom classes is people feel a lot less afraid to make noises. And then let your arm come down. Shake out that arm. And now stand in this Qigong stance that we've found a few times with your feet rooted into the earth and kind of envisioning roots coming down from the bottoms of your feet, and notice the differences in the sides of the body. Notice how this side that you just worked with, how it feels. The energy is flowing a lot more easily now through that side of your body, through that arm. And smile into your arm. Take a deep inhale and let go. I'm going to go to the other side now. So you're going to give yourself pats on the arm, up and down your arm. And we all have different experiences in our bodies. So you might have some injuries, old injuries, new injuries on either side. And all that matters is that you work within your comfort zone. That if something ever hurts, rethink doing it. When we have pain and we exasperate that pain, that causes greater tension in the tissues, which prevents that free flow of qi, the free flow of energy. So it's important to listen to your body, to make adaptations that feel good, that are helpful for you. And you're like, that feels nice. That's what it's all about. Now we'll lift the arm, and you can pat up and down from your armpit down to your hip flexor. And releasing tension in your side ribs as well. Breathing into the side of the body, knowing that you're encouraging that flow of lymph. Arm go. We'll make some big circles with that arm, and your elbow could be bent, and you're moving in your range of motion, encouraging the flow of energy. So when we are able to ground ourselves, to bring ourselves back to our breath, and then to move with the intention of allowing our energy to flow freely. Go the other direction with your circles. It makes a difference in how we feel, especially when we do it on a regular basis. And then we begin to feel more grounded, more balanced, more responsive rather than reactive. Qigong is all about functioning as optimally as possible. And there's no awards for doing it right. It's just practice. That's the best thing you could do, is practice. We come back to center. Step your foot forward, and we're gonna toss the ball. Oops, don't whack the wall when you toss the ball. And your ball toss up and back down. can kind of notice the way your arm is moving and how many amazing things have to take place in your body that you don't have to consider or think about for your arm to move. It's looking at yourself with a sense of wonder as well, regardless of what's going right, what's going wrong in your body. It's an amazing tool for you to utilize. And come back to center and shake out that arm. Gonna bring the arm across, give it that nice stretch, let your wrist relax. You can kind of adjust your kickstand hand to let your arm come down or up or in. Whatever feels good is perfect. Whatever feels nice to you. And take a deep breath and let it go. Release your arm, shake it out. And now stand again, feeling your feet rooting into the earth, noticing the sides of your body, noticing your shoulders, noticing your arm. And take a deep breath in and let it go. We're going to part the clouds. Let your palms face up at your dantian. And then you come up the front of your body and release. Nice and slow. Just as we began our practice with bringing down the heavens, that's a downward movement. And next week, we'll talk more about the different directions of chi. But this is definitely upward. So, this is a wonderful movement if you're feeling kind of lethargic, if it's, I always recommend taking a nap, but maybe you take a little rest and but you have things to do, you get up and um, do a few of these. So look for some balanced energy. I feel balanced. And just seeing what your breath wants to do, letting it come along with you. I like to think of my feet as having roots drawing into the earth and they draw up cool, clear water, and that water makes its way through my legs and through the pelvis and to the abdomen and chest and through the shoulders and arms and head, and it's like you're a geyser. Nice, cool, clear water. And coming back to center, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. And we're going to cloud walk again, bringing your hands to your sides, lifting one heel, maybe the whole foot. If you want more of a challenge, that can be quite challenging. Again, we're working with balance, we're strengthening the legs, we're strengthening our ability to find center. And then coming back, have both feet rooted into the earth. Bring your hands to your dantian. So a little repetition there, kind of finding balance, shifting your weight, bringing your hands to that center point. Take a deep breath in and let it go. We're going to take our fingertips and we're going to tap all over the head. In a tap dance, let your fingertips go wherever they'd like to go. The meridians, the channels of energy that wind their way up and down your arms and legs and into your body, also winding their way around your head and your scalp. specifically the meridians associated with decision making, planning, with worrying, overthinking. Imagine that. And so we're helping to release the tension from the head and kind of release that propensity to overthink, to worry. There's a spot between the eyebrows called the calm, the spirit point. So tapping between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. And then tapping the top of your head. Again, good for clearing the mind, for just allowing that clarity of thought. Tapping over the ears, clear decision making. All very practical. You're going to take your thumbs and find the points on the back of your head that are kind of protrusions where your spine sort of meets your skull. And these protrusions are gallbladder points, the gallbladder being an organ associated with decision making. And it's also important as the weather is colder to cover this area. So when you go out into the cold, it's nice to have a scarf on or a hood, something to cover this area because it is a place where the pernicious influences can more easily access our bodies, like catching cold. So I want to stimulate this area so that it's working well, the tea is flowing well through there, and clearing up our ability to make decisions, and also strengthening our ability to resist those pernicious influences. Watch your arms come down, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. Now bring your hands to your belly button. Let me fix this. Bring your hands to your belly button, kind of resting there over your belly button. And we're going to make circles around your belly button, kind of circles on your stomach, and going up the right side and down the left. And there's lots of specific instructions that I'll give you, but ultimately, what I would like to have happen is for you to be more comfortable trusting your own body's inner wisdom, making movements, making sounds, giving yourself the self massage, whatever feels good to you. Trust your inner wisdom because we have so much of it that we neglect to listen to because we're always thinking about what we should do, what needs to happen, thinking about lots of other things, and we drown out that inner wisdom. Giving yourself this nice belly rub, and as you come down the left side, you're coming down over your stomach, spleen, kind of coming across the pancreas, and there's a healing sound, and we're going to make it, the sound is like you've just eaten something delicious. And so as your hand comes across and down, nourishing the earth elements, nourishing your ability to be grounded, to feel centered and balanced, to digest emotions and information. And let your hands rest on your dantian. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Let's gather chi again. Arm around, other comes around. And then let's cloud walk again, bringing your hands to your sides, lifting one heel and bringing it back down, or maybe lifting the knee, and see if you can move even slower than you did before. And back to center. Let your hands face each other and envision that you have a ball of light between your hands. You might even close your eyes. You might kind of sense um, the energy from between your hands. You can kind of open and close your hands a little to get a sense of what it feels like. It has sort of a magnetic force between your hands. We have an electromagnetic field, and there's all of this electricity and energy emitting from our bodies, and the electromagnetic field from the heart, I think it can extend up to like 15 feet outside of a person's body. It's amazing to think of how our energy extends out from us and how we connect with other people as well. And now let your hands sort of hold that little ball in front of your chest, and now let one hand come up and the other presses down, separating heaven and earth. A nice stretch for the arms, for the spine, coming back to center. And then the other hand. And as you find this movement going slower, and pressing, and as the arms extend, maybe you find an inhale. And then continue to breathe normally. This is a very great movement for the health of our lungs as well. And finding a nice deep inhale at the top, and then breathing naturally as you come through center to the other side. Finding space in your lungs, feeling rooted through the bottoms of your feet, lifted through the crown of your head. And coming back to center. Press the hands down. Move your wrists and move your ankles. Get a little shake out maybe. We're going to turn in one direction, and this is called bow stance. Bring your hands to rest on your low abdomen, and just shift your weight from front to back a few times. Just sort of noticing again your center of gravity as it shifts, feeling rooted on the bottom of each foot. And we're going to push waves. And bringing your hands in front of your heart, coming forward, your hands extend out, and then they come back in and up the front of your body. So it's like you're kind of in the ocean, pushing waves out to sea and feeling them come back up your body. Keeping your center of gravity kind of across each leg, maintain a tall spine. Notice your breath. Maybe it's moving along with your movement as you push waves. Kind of rinsing away tension and stress. And what we do in this practice is inner alchemy. It's really working with our energy and kind of releasing, processing deeply held tension in the body, in the mind, continuing to return to a sense of being centered, to that kind of earth element, letting go of worry, feeling safe and secure, balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain and the body, allowing ourselves, allowing our body's innate healing response. It happens without our having to ever think about it, it just happens. But if we kind of set the tone for it, if we create a good environment through resting, through taking good care of ourselves, nourishing ourselves, being aware of our bodies and encouraging the flow of energy, then that innate healing response has a bit of an easier time. And we find that it's not just our bodies, but it's our minds and it's our way that we respond to situations that changes just happen. And we feel a little better. We function more optimally, and that is the goal. Letting your hands come back to your dantian, will come to center. So that was bow stance, and this is a horse stance where the feet are about shoulder width distance, parallel to each other. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Now we'll go to the other side, to bow stance. So you're facing that direction and shift your weight from your front leg to your back leg and just sort of noticing the weight shift. And then as you're ready, you can start to push waves them out and back in. Again, keeping a tall spine, knowing that you don't have to overextend yourself. Bringing yourself back to center. Waves of the ocean. And let your hands come back to your dantian and make your way back to center, letting your shoulders relax and soften. And bring your awareness to your breath as your feet sink into the earth, their roots drawing down, offering that sense of support and connection. The earth nourishing you. With each inhale, allow your belly to gently expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, let it relax. No need to force. With each exhale, your shoulders relax a little more. Your spine is able to lengthen a little bit more, and there's space between each vertebrae. Each exhale allows you to sink a little deeper into the supportive earth. You're always supported. We're going to bring down the heavens one last time, turning your palms to face out, reaching up and coming down. Doing this a few times, feeling this as a grounding movement, inviting peace. Inviting a sense of quiet awareness to join you throughout the endeavors and experiences that will come with your day. Over time, reaching up and drawing down. Bring one hand to your belly and the other hand to your heart. Feel your heartbeat and your breath. And offer yourself kindness and compassion, peace and love. Give yourself a smile, smiling into your being, into your experience, knowing that as you care well for yourself, it extends into the world around you. Take a deep breath in and let it go. We'll bring the feet together. The right fist represents strength, left hand friendship, thumbs drawn inward humility, and together it's a sign of respect. Thank you so much for your practice today, friends. It is just an honor to get to practice with you. And I hope that each of you has a very peaceful day. Let me hit my stop record button.